Anakin Skywalker had just been denied the rank of Master, the title he wanted most and thought he deserved. He stares around the room, from Master to Master, yelling how it isn't fair. Mace cannot believe Anakin's childish reaction and bellows for him to take a seat. But Anakin stares at the Master with wide eyes. He feels the rage brewing up inside the boy. Anakin needs the rank of Master, because without it, he cannot access the Jedi Archive's restricted section. He knows the Council are hiding the secrets of the Force from him. They are holding him back. But with the rank of Master, he can learn the truth and achieve the power to save his wife. Anakin cannot believe he's been denied the rank of Master. The hero of the Clone War, the savior of the Republic. How can they not grant him this? Is he supposed to believe Yoda could live this long without the influence of the Force? He doesn't believe it. He can't believe it. Anakin uses the Force to gather his saber and point it at Windu.
I am the most powerful here. I could take any of you in a duel. How can I not be a master?
Silence encompasses the room. They knew the boy had a temper, but never expected this.
Anakin, more to the Force there is than strength. There's peace, harmony, serenity, knowledge. Without all, a master you cannot be.
Yoda attempts to defuse the situation, but this doesn't change the rage within Anakin. Windu tells Anakin his emotional outburst here has only shown his immaturity and unworthiness of the rank of Master. It could be a decade before he becomes a Master as he looks away from the boy in disgust. Rage overwhelms Anakin as Mace's words only agitate him as he strikes his blade towards the Master. Yoda and Plo Koon, on either side of Windu, use the Force to hold the Chosen One at bay. They manage to push him back and stop his approach as Anakin breathes heavily with his sapphire blue saber at his side. At this point, every Master in the room is standing, overwhelmed with shock at what the boy has attempted, and is ready to stop the Chosen One. Anakin looks around, but he knows he's outnumbered and leaves. Yoda calls out to Skywalker, but this is in vain.
Back you must come, Skywalker.
Anakin goes straight to his close friend Palpatine and tells him the details of what's happened. Palpatine knew the Jedi wouldn't grant Anakin the rank of Master. That's the whole reason he assigned him to be his representative, to increase his rage, disillusion and discontent with the Council. But Anakin's reaction totally exceeded his expectations. He never thought he'd threaten Windu with his lightsaber. He cannot believe it. He's ecstatic. Palpatine attempts to dig deep into Anakin, who tells him the reason he's so angry and reveals the truth about his wife Padme and his nightmares about her. Palpatine was going to wait to reveal himself, but Anakin's fit in front of the Council has brought his plans forward. He reveals the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise, the Sith Lord that could use the dark side to save people from dying. Anakin is delighted when he hears this. It's exactly the Force technique he needs. But this high diminishes when Palpatine reveals it's a technique only available to those who use the dark side.
If that's what it takes to save my wife, I might have to do it.
And Palpatine offers him a solution. He reveals the truth about himself, his identity as Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, and the answer to all of Anakin's problems. Anakin's shock is momentary and short-lasting, as rage has already taken over him. He's accepted that he'll do anything he can to save Padme. Palpatine begs Anakin as a friend to let him help, and together they can save his wife. Anakin sees Palpatine as the solution. He gets on one knee and pledges himself to the Sith Lord and rises as Darth Vader.
Yes, Anakin. Together we shall bring order to the galaxy.
Palpatine wanted to wait a day or so before beginning his plans. He had a plan to get a few of the Masters off of Coruscant. He's already gotten rid of a few, including Depa Billaba and Ki-Adi-Mundi, but this wasn't enough. He wanted Yoda on Kashyyyk, and at least one other to take on Grievous on Utapau. However, Mace went to Kashyyyk instead of Yoda, and Kenobi went to Utapau. Yoda felt an obligation to stay on Coruscant and help Anakin. His recent outburst was not normal, and feels a personal duty as the Grand Master of the Order to help the boy deal with it. Anakin heads back to his room in the Jedi Temple, now a servant of darkness, only to find Yoda there.
Your recent outburst, we must discuss. Want to help, I do.
Enough! I don't want to hear it. I don't need your help. Will I be made master or not?
If Yoda said yes, he might have saved Anakin, but it wasn't something he could do.
Skywalker, you know I can't.
That's what I thought.
Anakin leaves the temple and heads for Padme's apartment. He's back to Palpatine's office the next day, and his plan is set. Only a few council members are on Coruscant. He planned for Yoda to be off-world, but Windu is just as good. Together they can defeat him. He tells Anakin about Order 66, and together they will raid the Jedi Temple. He must immerse himself deep enough in the dark side, and only then will he have the strength to save Padme.
The Jedi have failed you for the last time, my boy. At last we shall take our revenge.
Order 66 is executed, and the Night of Eternal Darkness begins. They purge the temple together, alongside the clones, Padawans, Knights, and Masters alike. Their screams were heard all around the entire planet, as the darkness came to cleanse them. The true test comes, when they approach the younglings' quarters together to find Yoda defending them. This is their real test, but they pass with flying colours. Yoda was a match for Sidious, an equal in the light, but not for Sidious the Sithari and Anakin the Chosen One, using all of their energy to take him down. They subdue the Grand Master and end his centuries-long rule of the Force.
This is how you meet your end, Master Yoda.
They killed an exceedingly high number of Jedi in the temple. However, some Masters realized the temple was lost and decided to escape. More escaped than the Sith anticipated. Sidious goes to address the Senate and congratulates his apprentice. He sends Anakin to finish off the separatist leaders on Mustafar and end the war. Whilst this was happening, Windu kills the clones attempting to take his life and is picked up by Bail Organa, who's just made contact with Kenobi leaving Utapau. Together they contact a collection of Masters who managed to survive the raid on the temple. Fisto, Saisi Tin, and Plo Koon had survived Order 66. They informed them about Palpatine and Anakin heading the raid. Obi-Wan cannot believe it, but knows the Master wouldn't lie about such things. He thinks about his apprentice, all they've been through together. He was never this close to the darkness. There must be something else going on. But Windu is not surprised. He never trusted Anakin. The boy was always hot-tempered, emotional, and immature. A recipe for a Sith. Windu leads them and together they will fight back. He decides himself, Tin, and Koon will attempt to defeat the Emperor, and Obi-Wan and Fisto will head to Anakin. Obi-Wan begs to go against Sidious, but Mace tells him he's the only one that can find his fallen apprentice. Obi-Wan realizes who will know Anakin's location. He visits Padme, who refuses to reveal where Anakin is, but inspires enough fear in her that she will go to find him herself, and they follow her to Mustafar. After Padme embraces Anakin, Obi-Wan and Fisto land their ship next to them and exit with sheer determination on their faces. Anakin accuses Padme of being with them, and we know where it goes from here. Obi-Wan and Fisto ignite their blades. Obi-Wan's attempts to get through to Anakin have failed.
This isn't you, Anakin. What are you doing?
They were futile. The darkness had its control over Skywalker.
The time of the Jedi has passed.
He ignites his saber and rushes towards the Jedi. Their duel is fierce. Obi-Wan the master of defense, while Fisto counters this by focusing on his attack. Fisto's mastery of Form 1 Shi-Cho made him one of the best duelists in the Order. They fight in the harsh environment of Mustafar, the heat and humidity slowly eating away at the two humans, restricting their abilities. As a Nautolian, Fisto's aptitude for surviving in harsh environments was invaluable in this duel. The climate was not affecting him, and he remained strong. He began to manipulate the lava currents with the Force to knock Anakin off balance, as well as using it as a defense. The fight reaches the bank of the lava lake, and the two humans are drenched in sweat and their muscles are overheated. Fisto pulls a wave of lava behind Anakin, leaving him with no escape. Anakin rushes at Obi-Wan recklessly, and Fisto drops the lava behind him, stopping his exit and cuts off his attack by severing Anakin's robotic arm, causing him to drop his blade. He goes to reach for it with his left, as Obi-Wan cuts his right thigh, destroying the quadricep muscles, making him unable to walk.
Kenobi, I hate you!
Meanwhile on Coruscant, Windu, Agen Kolar, and Plo Koon front Sidious. They kill his guards and stand in front of the Sith Lord.
Your arrogance blinds you, Master Windu.
Sidious throws his desk towards them and masks his attack behind him. Windu ignites his blade to cut through it, but looks to the left to see Agen Kolar already decapitated and Sidious heading towards Plo. He intercepts his attack, allowing Plo time to prepare. The duel begins, 2v1. Plo Koon was a master Sidious desperately wanted to die during Order 66, the only Jedi to ever beat Yoda in a duel. The fight is intense. The level of skill shown is unmatched in history. Sidious was utilizing his environment well, trying to get an advantage over the Jedi, but to no avail. He resorts to his Sith alchemy and flickers lightning with both hands at the Jedi. He catches Mace off guard, who is sent flying back against the wall. Sidious goes to finish him off with a bolt of deadly lightning, but Kun stands in front of his fellow Jedi and counters Sidious's lightning with his own electrical judgment of equal strength, his sense of justice powering his attack. Sidious doubled down on his efforts and focused deeply on overcoming Plo. He was so concentrated on his Sith lightning that he hadn't noticed Windu collecting his strength and using his Jedi speed to rush towards Sidious and cuts off his hands before he can react. Sidious looks at his severed wrists and shrieks in shock. They pin him on the ground and put him under arrest.
Weaklings of the Force.
The Sith have been defeated. The Jedi were able to convince the Senate that Palpatine was the Sith Lord they have been looking for and presented irrefutable proof that he played both sides of the war from the beginning, ordering the creation of the clone army and mastering Count Dooku. They raided his office and released records of chat logs between Grievous and other separatists, as well as video proof of him wielding a lightsaber. Anakin was jailed alongside Sidious for his role in the genocide of the Jedi Order. The Order survived, barely, and it will have to rebuild. Padme successfully gives birth to 2 children, Luke and Leia, but she's overcome with a deep depression at Anakin's fall to the darkness. Her children are her only tether to life, and she refuses to give them to the Order. She moves back to Naboo, quits political life to live with her family and raise her children. Sidious and Anakin are jailed for the rest of their lives. Anakin is allowed visitation, but Padme doesn't visit him for years. Anakin eventually regrets his actions and cuts off his connection to the Force. He has only ever been used for his power, and it has only ever brought him pain. Ahsoka was distraught when she heard of her former master's actions. She wasn't surprised when she heard of Padme and Anakin's marriage, but when she looked upon Padme's twin children, she could sense their father in them. Padme had no desire to have the children trained in the Force, but Ahsoka convinced her that without training and guidance, they would only be susceptible to darkness. She would take it upon herself and make it her duty to train the twins in the ways of the Force. She wouldn't follow the Jedi Code, but inadvertently would train them in the ways of Qui-Gon Jinn, trusting the will of the Force. They would become powerful light side acolytes, the strongest ever, ready to protect the galaxy when the next threat would reveal themselves. If you enjoyed this video, you have to watch What If Padme Amidala Was a Jedi, or What If Anakin Was a Mandalorian Jedi. If you want to support the channel, check out our Patreon or our YouTube membership program. All proceeds go in towards making videos. I want to start a mini series soon, so leave an idea in the comments below for what you'd like to see.